What's up YouTube, it's your boy Greezy, and today we're going to be going over how to play Capitao, a guide here in Rainbow Six Siege for you. I also really want to choose Capitao because you do see him a lot in when you play ranked or playing, because he is a fun operator to play, he has a fun gadget, but I really want to go over ways of how to play him. I really give a little bit more insight to maybe some new players that are trying to learn the game, or to some of you ranked players that are maybe stuck in ranks, or maybe trying to figure out the best ways to play certain operators. So I really wanted to go over Capitao, because as you notice when you look at his loadout, or you go to him as an operator, you'll see it says his difficulty is a 2 out of 3. And I would feel that is pretty accurate for him as a player, or him as an operator. Because his gadget is pretty self-explanatory. You get the crossbow you'll pull out, and you get 2 fire bolts, or incendiary they call them on here, and you get 2 smokes. So, and you can switch back and forth between them on mouse and keyboard. If you're playing on PC, it's B usually to switch, unless you've like changed your key layout, or which ones you push or use. On console, you'll just hit up on the D-pad to switch either, just like if you're clipping through your different rates of fire, like single fire, 3 burst, or just auto. And you can switch through them. You get 2 of each to use. And I see a lot of people, especially when you play like maybe a little bit lower ranks or mid gold, even high gold. A lot of players I feel like don't use him to his full potential, or utilize his ability as much as you could. Because he's definitely an operator you want to use that's going to be lasting the whole round. You want him to be one of your last 2 operators. So you'll see in Pro League a lot, he's picked as the second support, or as one of the flex operators in their lineup. And he lasts till the very end of the round majority of the time. That's how they want to use him. They want to wait until they get all the utility cleared out of sight, until they're getting ready to plant, and then they use his abilities to make sure they can cover off certain like entryways, and make it so they have more of an advantage when they cover somebody for plant. So I'll go over a little bit more on that, and a little more in depth in that when I get to a custom match for you, to show you exactly what I mean when I say smoke off entryways. But you really want to utilize his gadget to the best of your abilities, and make sure you use it where it'll help your team the most, so you have a better advantage during that round. But I also want to go over this because you can go over loadout. So it really does come down just to how you play, your preference, because both guns are literally identical besides how much they bring. So you either can bring the LMG and you'll have 100 bullets to use, or you can bring his para and you get 30 bullets. So I usually use the para just because I reload quite often. I usually pre-fire windows a lot, or through walls. I do a lot of pre-firing, so I reload often, and I just kind of find myself as I play, I hit reload more often than maybe I should. And so it is a quicker reload with the para, the assault rifle, than it is with the LMG. The LMG takes upwards of like 5.5 or 6 seconds. I don't remember what Rogue 9's video said it was. But the para is roughly around 1.5 to 2.5 seconds, I believe it is, depending on if you have like a bolt left in the chamber or some bolts left, or if you're just completely empty. But it is a much quicker reload, and I just prefer that just because I do reload once in a while. And 30 bullets is definitely more than enough to do some pre-firing and still have enough bullets for a couple fights if I need to. So if it does come down to like a 1v2, 1v3, or 2v3, want to try to get the plant off, I still have enough bullets. I feel comfortable trying to go after those fights. But sometimes if I do feel like I want to, I will bring the LMG, especially if I'm going to be just sitting on windows a lot of times, like on Consulate or certain maps where I'm just on windows covering and holding the angle. That's a little bit better option at that point, because you do get the more bullets to use, so you can have a lot more pre-fire. But then also you do have enough time so you can rappel down if you need to reload the gun, and not be quite as exposed as you would be trying to reload this gun, or trying to reload this if you were in a situation where you have this like inside of the building or somewhere near sight. This would be the quick reload so you can get back in the fight. This one you want to have so where you can have some time to reload and get it put together, because it does take a long time in game for that to reload. And then he does have just the 1 pistol option. Very great gun. They did add this to Nomad's kit, as you saw in my last video with Nomad. And then it just depends on how you play. I solo queue a lot, so I like to have the Claymore. So especially on maps where I am on windows, or I'm trying to rappel up, or there's areas they can run out, I like to have this so I can cover those runouts a little bit better. But also some maps I'll bring flashes so I can help burn ADSs, or just help get a better push. But they're definitely not the most reliable gadget in the game, so I do bring the Claymore more often than I would flashes. but that still comes down to your preference and how you like to play, what your play style is, and how your team composition is. But that's definitely how you want to play. I like both guns. Like they say, they're literally identical specs, besides how much ammo they bring. And I just like the pair, especially also because I did get the legendary skin on it out of a pack, so I kind of like rocking that once in a while. But it is just kind of preference on those for you. And I'll jump in that custom game though here for you, so we can go over a little bit better of how to play them, give you some scenarios, and give you some ideas of how you'd like to use the bolts or where to fire them, and what are the best ways to play them as you go through and move forward in Rainbow Six Siege. Alright, so now here we are on the map of Bank. So I can go over some spots where you can kind of use Capitao, how you'd like to use them. I'll go over maybe one or two more maps as well. On a few spots I feel like you can use some angles or maybe teach you some places you may not have known about. But up here, I like to use him on Bank a lot as well, especially if I have maybe a couple of friends I'm with, if I'm in a 5 stack, or maybe sometimes if I am just solo queuing and I get a team that's somewhat reliable. They're doing playing their ops, like they're playing Thatcher, Thermite, and then or Habana. They come over and they get the wall open for us, either one or both of these walls open, and that way we can have a little bit more team composition as we play. But I like to bring the Claymore especially because that way I can come over here and you can either do the Varsity Gaming Claymore. He likes to do it a lot. You put it right back here, and then it comes over and comes out, and that way they really don't even see that, especially when they're coming up. They're not going to be looking this way. They're going to be looking over here for people as they come up, and they're going to run right into that Claymore. Or you also can do this. I put it over here right behind this. That way they definitely don't see it at all as they come up, and they're going to be coming around the corner trying to get a shot off, and they're going to run right into it again. But it's really good to use when he's over here, because when you say you get these walls open, say you have your Thermite does his job, he gets this wall and this wall open. You want to come, you're going to sit back there on square, but I'm going to show you the areas that you want to shoot your smokes, because you're trying to stay alive as long as possible to help your team get the plant off. And so say they get these walls open, you're good, and they want to come over and plant right here behind the desk in default, or they're going to come over and plant right here on this shelf. With these walls open, you want to open this up, and you want to take your smokes, and usually you'll see teams put a rotate right here on the map. Sometimes they might put one maybe a little further down, but usually they're going to have a rotate right there. And so I like to take it and smoke off the rotate you'll see, and then this doorway. If they don't have the rotate, you can just smoke off both doorways, and you're good. That don't have to worry about watching both. But if they have the rotate, I'll usually take and I'll smoke right there, and then go up high. That way you can even see when they're trying to push, because they're going to get into the smoke, and you can't see anything, but you're going to have the advantage of seeing them as they come through. Then they're going to get that plant off. So if you smoke it up high, you're going to get that weird effect where from the distance you can see it, but when they get in the smoke, they're going to have a chance of seeing anything. You're going to see their whole body clear as day. But if they have the rotate and they have that open, I'll also just take and I'll shoot a firebolt right into that. That way they have nowhere to come, and the two ways they can, I'm going to see them well before they see me, and it's easy kills to cover your planter no matter which way he's trying to plant, and that way you'll cover off lines of sight for them to hold to try and get the planter as well. So that's a really good spot to use there. This is the site I really like to use them on. You can use them downstairs also. So say they're trying to push, you're pushing down into the basement, and they're holding over here. And so say they have a default setup, maybe they have a Myra, or maybe you have banned the Myra, so they're going to have a smoke. But a lot of times they're going to have a hole here to throw things through or try to peek. So what I'll do a lot of times is once we try to make sure we successfully get this wall open, and maybe that wall open, and then from back here, when these are open, shoot a flame or shoot a smoke right here at that, so it covers off that entire spot. They can't see anything while your guy tries to reverse plant, and then smoke off the doorway. And that way from back here you'll have, if these are open, we'll say, make sure they are open, you'll have a line of sight right into that staircase. And again, shoot it up high, like maybe halfway up or even higher if you want. That way you'll have that little trick where you can see below it while they can't see anything when they walk into the doorway or near it. They're going to be smoked off entirely, but you'll be able to see their legs and even part of their body potentially, depending on how high you get it. but then you can cover it from all the way back here, from out of line of sight from over in that rotate hole, but you can still cover it if they try to push it. Or you can sit back here if you get this wall open, so you can watch for any nitros that might come flying or smoke canisters and try and shoot them out of the air. That's always helpful on this site. So that's my 2 sites on this map I love to use Capitao for, and the strategies I use them. Because also you can smoke off that and that. Then you also can take your firebolt and then you could shoot it into the rotate. That way it covers off that whole area, so they don't even want to try and stand there either. So if you were to shoot that through there, say they had it wide open, all you'd have to do is shoot it from back here, or even if you had this open on a nice angle and you'd be able to shoot it right up into that hole and hit the top, then it falls and it'll fall down and it disperses in that entire hallway. So I'll show you what I mean. So if you did shoot it up there, you'll hit it probably about right there on the wall, maybe over here, but it's going to fall straight down and then it's going to expand and cover this entire hallway. So they're not going to have a chance of coming over throwing a smoke grenade, or they're not going to have a chance of throwing a nitro without either getting burnt to shit, or they're going to be crispy and dead, because it does so much damage. I believe it does like 12 or 15 per tick. So every second they're in that, 12, 15 damage is falling off every time. So they'll die pretty quick doing that. That's a great spot to throw it. And then I'll jump on another map here for you. We'll go over a couple angles as well on that one for you. Alright, now here we are on the map of Clubhouse. And this is another map I really like to use Capitao on as well. So especially if I am in a 5-stack, or if we have a team again that has really good team composition, I'll bring Capitao. If the other team, like if they're making sure they're bringing the Thatcher or Thermite, or maybe even if Thatcher's banned, they're bringing Maverick and Thermite, Habana, or even Ace now since he's been released for everybody to get. I like to bring Capitao over here so you can really help if they are upstairs in that cache site and the CCTV security. What you can do is, even if they reinforce this wall down in the garage, to help your team get the wall, the main wall that goes into CCTV and security, you can literally come over here and shoot out the top part of this wall, and then from this angle way back here, you can literally shoot a Capitao bolt right up through there. You can even shoot it from whatever angle you want. Shoot right up through there, and it'll fire off that entire spot. That way they can't trick the wall at all. See, it covers that entire area. So that fire went from like right here all the way over to here. So this entire wall was flamed off. Yeah, so I hit it right there and right there. Those are the 2 spots that I hit the wall. And it'll fire off that entire spot. And that way, Bandit, if he's seen you trying to trick it, not going to happen. There's no chance in hell he's going to be able to trick the wall. If Cade's standing here trying to throw him, you're going to be good. But even if that is the case, if they have a Cade trying to throw it and you have a Thatcher, there's no way that Cade's going to stop your Thermite. But if they are trying to Bandit trick, you can do that trick no matter if they reinforce that wall or not. Because you'll see the reinforcement only goes so high. So you'll have that entire spot. You have like a little sliver you'll be able to shoot through. And it'll hit that wall every time. It's going to fire this off. So unless they have a Wamai position somewhere nearby that it's going to catch it, even if they maybe have one up here, or if they have really dumb ones by the windows, it's going to catch it, and it's still going to flame off a lot of this area if they are throwing them dumb places. But a lot of times they don't really think of that for the Capitao. The Wamai is either going to be over on the staircase, or maybe somewhere over there on that side, and more than likely it's not going to catch that flame bolt that comes through and hits that. And that way you can get this wall wide open. And once you get that wall open from outside, you want to try and stay alive again to try and help with plant, so that way your guy can come over here and try and get the default plant. That way it's covered. And so what you do is you want to make sure you have somebody that takes garage. So you have somebody up in rafters, or make sure that is cleared out. And then from there you can smoke off this doorway and this doorway. So usually I tell my team at this point just to smoke the entire doorway, so you can shoot it right at it. That way they can't see in. Or you can, if you have somebody that is covering garage, you can do the high one again. You shoot up there. At that point, see that same trick. If they're over here in rafters, they're going to see who's coming through there. And if that person tries, as soon as they get into that smoke, they're going to be screwed. So you smoke it off high if you want, or just smoke off the entire door. And then from there, you can shoot it back. Once you have this wall open, you can even shoot it right at this corner. It's going to come through, and then it's going to smoke this entire area off again. That way, You can still have it open so if someone's in rafters, they can watch that for anyone that tries to push. But it's going to be high enough up that you can still cover, and they're not going to have a chance. You're going to have an easy line of sight. Your guys are going to be covered, and that way they can come over and they can get that plant off nice and easy. But if you have any other sites you want me to go over, any maps you want me to go over, let me know down in the comments below. Let me know. Give me the map or site you'd like me to go over. If you have any angles maybe you know about that you'd like to add in, I can add it into another video. Let me know. But again, let me know down in the comments how you liked the video. If there's anything you liked about it, anything you feel like could be done different. If you have any questions about anything, let me know. Again, we'll keep it easy, keep it breezy. It's your boy Greezy. See you next time, boys.